Hi everyone! If you're watching this video, it's likely that you've started your journey to become professional screenwriters in the industry. However, you've run into a wall, a very big wall. The incredible and ridiculously high cost of industry professional screenwriting tools like Final Draft. You probably tried looking for other alternatives later, like Writer Duet, or several of the many others out there on the internet. But none of these meet all the necessary features to satisfy all the needs of a professional screenwriter in the industry. That's why I've come here to offer you a solution. A tool that is easy to use, free, and that you can access quickly and easily. Plus, it meets all the necessary features to accompany you on your journey to becoming a professional screenwriter. Without further ado, I'm going to show you the tool. Okay, we're here. And the tool in question is called Cineasta.org. Okay, this is the main homepage. We're going to register here quickly. We can do it by writing a username and our email, but I'm going to do it with Google to make it faster. Okay, as you can see, this account is completely new and empty. So we're going to click on New Project. We're going to type here, My First Project. Okay, this is what the application gives us as soon as we enter the concept tool. And what are we going to do here? Well, many times we have a bunch of ideas inside our heads that we need to express and capture at a specific point, so we can get them out of our system and have them handy to use later. This tab right here is going to give us all the tools we need to be able to capture those concepts. We can write here the basic concept of our story, the general story we want to tell throughout the entire script, the central theme, or the dramatic premise we want to use, whether we want to make a story about love, revenge, redemption, or any other that comes to mind. We can make a list of characters, adding all the characteristics we can think of for them. We'll be able to make synopses, long synopses, and we have a concept map creator here to be able to efficiently organize all our ideas. If we click here, we can create new nodes and connect them to each other to have better visibility of which node each of the concepts belongs to. We can also create image nodes here. In this case, I have one of a computer right here, and here it is. We can also create pure text and arrange it wherever we want. Let's put it around here and name the connectors, for example. And that's how we can organize all our ideas with precision. What can this be useful for? Well, let's say I want to make a medieval story. Here I can create the family tree of the entire royal family. Or maybe I'm creating a political story. We can create all the influences shared by each and every one of the characters within the same story here, and how it evolves through it. Or maybe we are creating a war story. We can create conceptual trees here detailing the ranks of each of the characters and what orders one can give to another for being above them in the hierarchical order. We can organize all the ideas we need right here. Now let's move on to the next part of the tool, the step outline. Let's say we know exactly how we want our story to begin. And plus, we know exactly how we want it to end, the finale. Here we can create the entire middle between the beginning and the end. We can even put the rising action here, or the climax. I'm just putting the words, but you can put whatever you want. You can put exactly what you want to happen in the climax, or at least roughly, to develop it later. And we can create everything that's going to happen in between. We can divide the work, so we don't do it all at once, and face the blank page, all by yourself. You can write what is going to happen with each of the characters in the middle of each scene. We also have the concept map here to guide us. Now let's move on to the treatment. Here we can visualize what we put in the step outline and further develop each and every one of the scenes. What do we want each one to say? What characters do we want to speak? What is it that we want the scene to tell the viewer? Or the transitions it's going to use? Or the effects it's going to use? Or how we want the characters to move and interact with the world and the rest of the characters? All of this we are going to note down in each of the scene developments. Now we are going directly to the point of this video, the screenwriting tool. Here we can put the title of the project, we can put who wrote it, meaning you, the name of the company we are writing it for, or if we belong to a company that is writing this script, the email. And here we have a detailed view of the treatment, the step outline, the concept from the concept map, and specific tools that will help us and will keep appearing later on. Now here we have a toolbar of everything we can use to write the script. We can use them simply by pressing them, clicking on them, or by using keyboard shortcuts like Ctrl+1, Ctrl+2, Ctrl+3, and so on. Each and every one of the tools and text types has a specific key combination, so you can use them quickly. We can also control the zoom of the page, and there are a couple more tools that we will be seeing right now. Let's write our first scene. We are going to use the scene heading text first, and here it asks us where the scene takes place, whether inside, int, outside, ext, or we can use some of the others it offers us. In this case, I'm going to use ext. Let's put that. It takes place in a forest, space, hyphen, and we're going to put that. It takes place during the night to add some mysticism. Now, when we hit enter, it will automatically give us an action text, because that's what we are going to describe now. Based on what we already wrote, I'm going to adjust this a bit more. Based on what we already wrote in the treatment, we are going to put what the character's action is within that scene. Let's say the main character runs at high speed in the middle of a forest, fleeing from a beast. We hit enter, and immediately the next text is also an action. But let's say that now I want to make a character text. We are going to use character. This time I'm going to use the keyboard shortcuts, Ctrl+3, and there it is. It automatically centers itself, as is that type of text format for describing characters. The main character is going to be named Ross, like the character from the iconic sitcom Friends. We hit enter, and immediately a dialogue text is placed for us. But we don't want to go directly to the dialogue. We want to put something related to the action he is doing. Since he is running at high speed in the middle of the forest, he is tired. So we hit enter, and parentheses appear. Let's put here that he is panting. Enter again, and now let's write the dialogue. "Who are you?" he asks the beast. We hit enter, and immediately it shows us a character text again. Let's put here, beast. Now we are going to hit enter again, for example, and with a deep voice, let's put, I am death. We hit enter, and immediately a list of the characters we have already used is given to us here. Let's put, Ross. Enter. Enter again, screaming. Stay away! Exclamation mark. Enter. Now I don't want a dialogue anymore. I want an action. Again, Ctrl+2, and he runs away. Now we jump to another scene, Ctrl+1 again. Let's put exterior cabin in the middle of the forest, night or later. We can put later to say it was after the previous event. Enter, immediately text. Now let's use some of the other tools. Let's say we want him to meet another character. We can use a dual dialogue to show that both characters speak at the same time. As soon as we use it, these fields appear for each character. Let's put Ross in one, and in the other, we are going to put Rachel. In one, we are going to put something like, we have to get out of here. And here I'm going to put the same thing. And just like that, quickly we created a dual dialogue. Let's say we want to create something else, like a transition, for example. We just click here, and transitions are written on the right. Cut to. Or maybe we want to add a note. PowerPoint style cut. Or George Lucas style. We hit enter, and there it is. Or maybe we want to make a shot. Or maybe we want to use a lyric text format in case a character wants to sing. Or simply add another new scene again. Either way, that's how we can build the script based on what we've already built. What's more, we can even link them. Let's say this scene corresponds to this one. So we are going to click link, and here. And now, if we click here, let's say the page is at the beginning, and we want to go directly to scene 1. It immediately directs us to the scene that connects it. The same with number 2. And that's how we can better organize all the scenes. Now let's say we want to add a different note to this one, something to remind us that there is an important event at a specific point. We can use the application's pins. We click here on pin mode, and when it's active, we can press on any part of the script. For example, here, and let's say, the beast is actually an imposter in disguise. We click Save, and there it stays. We exit pin mode, and that note is going to stay exactly there forever. Pin mode also has another use. Imagine you are a producer, and you assign this script to another person, and they are writing it. You, as a producer, can use pin mode to give notes to that screenwriter and tell them exactly what it is you want them to do. A notification will reach that specific screenwriter so they can make the modifications you want. We can also change the style of the typographies at some points. Like, for example, maybe we don't want to use bold. We go here, and we can remove bold from the scenes, and it's removed. Or stop showing the scene numbers. In this case, I'm going to leave it. Or the bold on the characters, we can remove it. I'm also going to leave it. Bold on transitions, we can also remove it, but I'm going to leave it too. And that's how we can control that part. But it will always respect the official typography used in the industry standard. And speaking of modifications, there is a feature that the vast majority of script editors don't have, but is key and really necessary when writing a script: revisions. What is a revision? Well, when one is writing a script and modifies something, you can't just modify it. You have to announce to the rest of the production that something was modified, whether at the request of the producer, the director, or some other external entity that requested modifications to specific parts of the script. To announce that we modified something, we use revisions. We are going to click, and by default, this comes up here. We are going to click on New Revision, and this one is going to turn blue, because the color blue indicates that it is the first revision. And what can we change? Let's say that instead of wanting him to run away in this specific part, we want him to actually stop and fight the beast. Ready? And now, the part that was added is marked in blue, and the part that was removed is crossed out in red to indicate to the rest of the production what was taken out and what was added, so they know how to proceed in the rest of the production. Now let's say we want to make a new revision, because the producer wants to make another important change. Maybe change a character's name. Like, for example, let's say this character is no longer Ross, but Chandler. Let's change it here. And at every moment where the name Ross was previously used, it is crossed out, and the name Chandler remains specifically marked. In addition, it is marked with an asterisk next to where each of the modifications of each of the revisions was made. You can quickly direct yourself to where it was modified in each of the revisions, simply by pressing the indicators marked next to the scroll. The next tool that is vital for a screenwriter is Find and Replace. Let's say we have a new revision. The color yellow revision, the next color that is marked when making a revision. This follows a color pattern order. But let's say the script is long. It's 120 pages. And the director wants a specific character's name changed on all pages. So we are going to use the Find and Replace option. This has a complete file of everything that has been used. The locations, which scenes are interior and exterior, at what specific times of the day, and of course the characters. You can see the mentions here. For example, here it was used in this specific scene, and here you can go directly. You can move this. And now, let's say we want to change the name of the character named Chandler, which we had changed before. We are going to click here on Replace, and we are going to write the new name, which this time is going to be Joey. We are going to apply. It is immediately replaced in all the places where it was used. Apparently it doesn't work perfectly in dual dialogues, but they aren't used frequently enough for it to be a serious problem. It also works for specific locations, so it can be changed on a large scale throughout the script. In scripts of impressively large magnitudes, specific names that we want to change, and everything will be marked and registered for the benefit of the production. Now let's say I want another person to work with me on this script. I can share access using the Share Access option. We can write the specific username from the page of the user we want to add to our project, so they can help us specifically with what we want. We can also manage roles. We can specifically control what it is we want each of the users who enter our project to do, so they don't touch things we don't want to be touched. In addition to having a specialized page to hire artists and writers who can help us with our projects, and publish updates on what we are doing. Well, that has been all for today's video. I hope you liked it, and I hope the tool I just showed you is useful to you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with other people who need this tool. Thanks for watching.